The artist I'm gonna talk about is best known for the opening song of the Gummy bear cartoons, Gumisie in Poland.
Misie harcują, po lesie szarżują, wszędzie dziś słychać donośny ich śmiech, zawsze zwycięskie
Let's try to outline the amazing career of the extremely talented jazzman Andrzej Zaucha.
Ach, te pany, czym bez nich był ten świat? Co tu grać, co tu być, spróbuj bez papy.
His adventure with music started basically when he was born in 1949 in Krakow. Actually, the singer's father was a drummer and he played dance music in gigging bands. The first time that he ever performed in public, it was when he was 8 years old because his father had a terrible toothache and had to go to the hospital. And his father's band had to play, so they put him behind the drums. Zaucha never received any musical education, and throughout his primary school years he played in several amateur or semi-professional ensembles. And these ensembles were basically these kinds of bands that play music for people to start dancing. So guys, he didn't start his career as a vocalist, he played the drums. And indeed he was impeccable at timekeeping, playing the percussion. So one Saturday he came to the hall where the band was rehearsing, and the manager came up to him and said, you know, now there is this fashion for someone to sing in the band, and none of us can sing, so we thought that you could try, because you know all these new songs. So we already hired a new drummer and you are gonna be the new vocalist. Something that shaped his musical personality was that in the early 60s, his mother had to move to France and he was raised by his aunt. He had to stay in Poland, but he visited his mom all the time going to France. So it was 1967-68 when he went to France and he heard for the first time this guy called Ray Charles, and he totally fell in love with his song. He learned and came to Krakow, changing completely his way of singing, and nobody sang like that before in Poland.
Stara widzę jak na dłoni, że twój świat donikąd goni.
And after that, Dżamble was created, the quartet in which Zaucha first sang in the lead role. This band combined rhythm and blues and jazz rock sounds.
Please believe my baby, 'cause she treat me so hard. Yeah.
So they started to work on the first album, and originally they wanted the songs to weave a love story, to be arranged thematically, but this didn't convince the record company and they wanted to release the songs in a different order. And this decision, among others, led to many conflicts between the band and the label company, and they decided to put an end to this.
Żadnej pory roku oprócz zimy nie ma, miejsce na labirynt i na głowę kamień.
And that subsequently led to the breakup of the band in 1972. But don't worry guys, because after the breakup of Dżamble, Zaucha wasn't unemployed for long. Yes, because at the turn of 1971 and 1972, Marek Grechuta, after a long-lasting conflict, left Anawa. And the band's leader turned his eyes to Zaucha. Everybody knew that Zaucha was the best, that he was able to sing everything, anything. I mean, even though Andrzej couldn't read the notes, he learned everything by ear. They would play him the melody line of a song and he would repeat it flawlessly. Although he found himself in a band with a style so distant from his. So in 1972 they recorded with him the album called Anawa tańcząc w powietrzu, and they released it in 1973. And this album is a record with more experimental and difficult music than the ones that they recorded previously with Marek Grechuta. But Zaucha's cooperation with Anawa lasted no more than a year and a half. 2 weeks after recording the album, he said that he wanted to quit and go and learn how to play the saxophone and live for a pub in the West. Well, the singer was already married and had a little daughter, so going to the West meant a better life for his family. In the 80s, between one trip and another, Zaucha decided that he wanted to start a solo career also in Poland. So in 1983, he recorded an album called Wszystkie, stworzenia, duże i małe.
Nie bój się, dotknij gdzie chcesz.
Gdy policzę do 100,
Gryzę coraz lżej.
sama nago tu
The style of this album, All Creatures, Great and Small, was reminiscent of the styles of Stevie Wonder or Al Jarreau, how to say this? And unfortunately, the album didn't gain much popularity. The most popular song of this debut album was the title track, Wszystkie, stworzenia, and he sang it with Ewa Bem. And also in 1985, with Ewa Bem, he sang the song Już czas na sen at Opole's Festival.
sto, już czas na sen.
And actually, Zaucha in the 80s became a permanent in every festival of music in Poland. One of his best known songs is a song that I discovered with you guys here in this channel, and it's called Byłem, serca, byciem. Byłaś, serca, byciem.
Byłaś serca biciem, wiosną, zimą, życiem.
Of course, there is a magnificent performance of Byłaś, serca, byciem at Opole's Festival that is out there for you to watch. It's great. So jazzy and groovy, and you see the audience. Wow!
Już taki jestem, zimny drań i dobrze misty, bez dwóch zdań.
Simple melodic lines combined with freedom and a masterful performance captivated the Polish audience. And in 1987, Zaucha released his second solo album called Stare, nowe, najnowsze,
Taką mam pracę, nie najlżejszą, nie.
which included the popular songs Myśmy byli sobie pisani, Bądź, moim, natchnieniem, and Paryż z pocztówki.
Knajpa, kościół i ten bruk, ideał nie tknął go.
And after that, in 1989, with Wiesław Pieregorulka's big band, he recorded the album called Andrzej Zaucha.
Czarny Ali babo, spuchnij z brody resztki stóp. O, bucie, czarny Ali babo, zatań ze mną tu i tam i tam i tu.
And now the moment you've been waiting for, because he made numerous recordings for TV shows and cartoons and TV series, including Przybysze z Matplanety i Gumisie, and for the Polish radio archives.
Stożki, rąby i trójkąty, cyfry, liczby, prostokąty.
But this is not just about music, guys. Zaucha's acting debut took place in 1983, and he was noticed by the director Krzysztof Jasiński, who decided to engage him in the musical Pan Twardowski.
Proszę pani, byśmy byli sobie pisani, byśmy byli sobie pisani.
Unfortunately, it was during this period in October of 1989 when his wife Elżbieta died. And the artist experienced this loss very painfully, and he fell into depression. And at that painful moment, he almost withdrew from his artistic life.
Bezsenność we dwoje, cudowna niesenność, tak łatwo nad rankiem wstępować w codzienność, gdy w jedno...
The performance of Pan Twardowski turned out to be a great success after premiering in 1990. And after that success, several actors joined the cast, including Zuzanna Leśniak. And life is like this, guys. A feeling between both of them was born, and this consequently led to this tragic finale. They played 189 performances, and it was the last one that ended tragically.
Ciebie wystało i ciepło moich dłoni, a potem przyjdą noce, jak psy wierne pod nasz dom.
After this last performance, Andrzej and Zuzanna went out to the car park together. Unfortunately, Andrzej Zaucha and Zuzanna Leśniak were shot dead in a car park next to Teatr Stu the 10th of October of 1991. The assassin was the French director Yves Goulet, husband of Zuzanna Leśniak. His motives were betrayal, marriage breakdown, jealousy, and his conviction that it was a matter of honor. And I wonder how would Polish music history have changed if he had continued to be alive.
Własną drogą wolę iść, jak na lotni zawieszony płynę.
Because he was such a prolific, talented, humble person. And that was it, guys, and I'm so proud of having dealt with this topic today because Andrzej Zaucha is a genius. So can you tell me, what does Zaucha mean to you? What songs of his had continued to be in your life because of any reason? Just write a comment there, let me know. If you like the videos, you can like it, you can write something, you can subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, for being here with me. I really appreciate it, and see you next week.